Hey guys, it's Piper, and I am doing Lavendertowne's Cartoonist Tries Realism Challenge. But first, I want to thank all of you because I had a great time in Philadelphia, oh my god. And I couldn't have done it without you guys, really. I got so many commissions and some donations too. Staying with my grandparents in Pennsylvania after I left Philadelphia was another story, and I'm fortunate that I had enough money to go back to Philadelphia and get away from those assholes. And now I know why my mother is so crazy. But, let's not dampen the mood. Philadelphia was great, and the concert was great, and Poppy is even more beautiful in person, and she sounds exactly the same on stage as she does in the studio. But I couldn't get a clear photo. Well, you know what it is. People bumping into me and shit, and I'm only 5'3". I eventually made it to the third row by walking through a mosh pit, that formed next to me. I don't really understand mosh pits. I would think if you're excited, you would want to listen, not run around and throw yourself into each other like idiots, but here's my apology to the people I pushed to the ground. That's what you get for trying to knock me out of the way. You can't stand between me and Poppy. Her beauty filled me with determination. Maybe next time don't pick on the short kid. In all seriousness, though, I know Kung Fu, so if you find yourself getting swallowed by a mosh pit and you're afraid you'll get hurt, just stand on the edge, hold a wide stance, called Mabu, block, and, so you don't get hurt, and play defensively. Let them jump into you, and then throw your body back into theirs, and the harder they hit you, the harder they will fall. So there's no need to punch anyone or anything like that. They'll get the message, and eventually people will realize that you are not to be fucked with and that you're not in the pit, and they'll leave you alone. I don't think mosh pits are anything, hateful or something they do to be assholes. It's just something I don't get, and I didn't really want to be a part of it. Though I did kind of feel like God, because nobody managed to knock me over, but everyone else was on the ground. Okay, anyway, enough of that. If you ever visit Philadelphia, I recommend the Mutter Museum. It was awesome. I didn't get to see a lot of things up there, but also I went to Chinatown, and that was great. They had really good food over there. And there is going to be a super long vlog coming to Patreon of my adventures in Philadelphia, the places I could bring my camera anyway. A lot of places I went, they wouldn't let me film, but also, I have a super special announcement because there is something else I did in Philadelphia, and I am extremely excited to announce this. And if you want to be the first to hear it, check out my Patreon, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram because I tweet way too much. Anyway, now for Lavendertowne's Realism Challenge. A lot of people think of my art as realism already, but I see it as more of a fusion between American and Japanese comic styles, or more rather, I'd say realism with an anime influence. As for Nancy Oakley, she's kind of an exception to my usual style because she's from something I started in 2010 when I was 18 years old and had no idea what I was doing. And, anyway, that has nothing to do with it. She was drawn in kind of a chibi style, and she was always very cartoony. And my most recent drawing of her is that little scribble that I used as a test a test for my game, which I'm still coding and will probably be coding forever because this is taking way, way longer than I thought it would. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again. Yeah, you probably noticed in the beginning that instead of drawing on paper and scanning it in and tracing my drawing like I normally do, I immediately started with my mouse. This is actually because I use my flatbed scanner as a TV stand and I was too lazy to move my TV. If anyone wants me to review their drawing tablet, send it over. I'll be more than happy to do so if you let me keep it. Okay. Yeah, it looked really ugly in the beginning, but the issue I faced the most through it was making her eyes large and alert like they are in the comic. Visual novel. but also realistic and like not so big that it was out of proportion for a normal human face. And this would have been easy if I was drawing Jeremy or Selin, but since Nancy always had those intense crazy eyes, I had to adjust them throughout the process over and over and over again. It drove me crazy. I also tried my best to make sure the face was symmetrical, but not too symmetrical, since nobody's face is perfectly symmetrical. And I figured if it looked too symmetrical, it would be really, really weird looking. Though I still think it's really weird looking, but you know what? I don't care. This was a challenge for a reason. It wasn't called a challenge for no reason. This was definitely a challenge. As for the skin, I chose to color pick from Emma Stone. And for the hair, I chose some random natural redhead whose identity I don't know. The reason I didn't just color pick that from Emma Stone was because halfway through I remember that Emma Stone is not actually a natural redhead, although it suits her very well, and I wanted to use a natural color, like, for sure, although her hair does look very natural. Yeah, I did want to keep Nancy's hair on the bright orangey spectrum, even though redheads, our hair tends to fade as we age and it's not as intense, but since Nancy is only 18, I tried not to make it too faded, but not super carrot orange, but that carrot orange stereotypical hair, that, you know what I'm talking about, that's actually pretty rare. I think the thing that turned out the best was her eyes. I mean, yeah, they are very creepy, but Nancy was always kind of a thirsty creep. I mainly mean the eyeball part anyway. It looks pretty realistic, maybe a little too realistic. Oh, but the hair texture, oh man, the hair killed me. I could get away with half-assing the outfit, but the hair, oh man. I used my own hairbrush that I made, but it's hard to make hair look realistic when you're using a mouse. I'm a pretty patient person, but this really, really pushed me to the limits, and I'm not happy with how it turned out, but you know what? It could be worse, and I've still got commissions to finish, and I haven't put out very many videos lately, so I'm really short on ad revenue, but I'm sure you all know that already. By the way, commissions are still open. Check my Instagram for details. I recently posted my new commission information. But they are on hold for a little bit, and I'm not going to do the $5 chibis anymore because, I don't know, it's not an emergency anymore. But I'm decided I'm not going to raise the other prices because, I'm just not. I don't need a reason. I'm too lazy, okay? Is that a good enough reason? I'm too lazy to think of prices for things. So anyway, it'll be a first come, first serve sort of thing. I'll try to... Actually, no, I'll probably prioritize by how hard and how long it's going to take and try to figure it out. But until I finish the commissions I've already accepted, I won't be able to get to you. So it may be a while. Anyway, please rate and subscribe to my channel for stuff that's better than this, I hope. And have a great day. See ya.